to UNYP MBA? Why did you choose that?
So first of all, I came in my career to a point where I really knew that I would like to look into different areas of the business, not only where I am actually working. So I used to work in finance, but I knew that the company had much more aspects than just the finance part, and I was looking for a program where I can enlarge my knowledge. I knew that I was not looking for actually a training program where it is mostly focused on soft skills, but I wanted to have something more complex to learn and to develop. So I started to look into MBA programs, educational programs, and see what is the best way to start developing myself in the business area. And that's how I came across the UNYP. I had a few friends studying before MBA, so I went out to them and looked for feedback. What did they find most useful in the MBA programs in different schools as well? And based on the program curriculum and also the way how the program is now built up, I chose UNYP. So what about you, Daniel? How did you end up with UNYP?
Actually, mine was very similar. At the time when I started considering UNYP MBA, UNYP has been my alma mater. I did my undergrad there as well. But at that time when I was considering MBA, I literally had 15 years of professional experience under my belt. I would say even a senior management one. But I felt like I was missing some kind of a degree or some kind of a certification of how to tie in all that experience and how to add that managerial and leadership education on top of that. That's something that was definitely missing, and I wanted to add that. And UNYP for me was a very clear choice. First, it was very good experience for my undergrad. B, it is English spoken education, and C, I knew that UNYP has that mix of faculty that comes from the industry. And that was very important for me because I wanted to bring that, I wanted to gain that extra knowledge to complement my experiences that I already have. Hence, UNYP MBA for me was that sort of choice. And the fact that we had those electives there was even better because I did go for the entrepreneurship, which was something that really that was resonating with me quite a bit.
Yeah. Actually, I have to agree with you that I really appreciated the practical learning of the program and also the after course assignments with the team members, where it was a lot of learning from your colleagues and then your friends on the program, which was very, very positive. And how do you use what you have learned in MBA today in your day-to-day job? Do you use that?
Actually, I have to admit, I use it way more than I would have ever expected. Exactly as you said, the knowledge and the experiences that we were getting during those courses were very practical. They were very sort of industry based. So it was real knowledge that I knew we can actually practice and use in the real world in our careers. But little did I know how much of the leadership skills and that leadership experience would come in handy. And in my current position, leading a shared service center that is essentially part of a huge organization, Doctors Without Borders, it's really coming from many angles. How do you manage an organization? How do you manage a change? How do you actually create a new organization from scratch, meaning in terms of entrepreneurship, essentially a startup within an organization? So I have to say that I lean on the experience and the knowledge from my MBA more often than I would have ever thought so. So it is critical, and I'm actually very glad that I have gotten that. And really, I have the knowledge and I have the materials to fall back on in case I'm running short of ideas.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Absolutely. When it comes to soft skills and kind of hard skills, it is a very useful program when you start leading really high performing teams, but also when you are come across different sets of stakeholders. The program gave a lot of tools for us, for me actually, to use as well to manage expectations, being change agile, have an open mind, and especially for the business services sector, really to keep the ball rolling, right? You cannot really fall asleep because you are the one who is providing service for the rest of the organization, and you always need to stay relevant whatever happens. So it is the program gave great tools to maintain that mindset and work with your team in a more effective way.
And I feel on top of that, I feel that we were not being fed or sort of kind of served a prescribed set of materials, but I felt like it was really custom made to our experiences and to our knowledge. And maybe because of all the engagements that were not passive, but I mean all those endless discussions we had in the class that actually challenged us, and that helped us not only to learn from the professors, but also from all the other colleagues who brought a wealth of experience from their industries and from their lives. So I think from this way, not only sort of that practical knowledge and experience, but also that interaction with the classmates. It's something that I'm still leveraging on. We still have very good group, and we are keeping in touch. So definitely, I think it has gotten a lot of value for me. That's for sure. And how do you see the MBA going forward in terms of how would you recommend that, and especially the specialization on the shared services that we are both in right now?
Yeah. So based on the ABSL annual report, it's still really clear that business services has a very strong position on Czech market, and also that it employs a lot of very talented and diverse people. So I feel that an MBA focusing on global business services is a right step forward and will really help in developing the future leaders of business services. So definitely, I think that's the best step forward for the sector.
I think the word leadership is key there, and that's what I really have been noticing since I've been sort of building the shared service center line, and that is the fact that shared services are no more just that like second level provider tucked away somewhere, doing an anonymous job. Shared services are becoming the leaders within the organizations. They are the driver of change. And in order to be the driver of change and to be the leader of the new things, you need to have the skilled leadership in charge of those shared services. And that's exactly what MBA is for me in a nutshell. It's really creating the leaders. So I think this is a very good combination of really building the leadership skill in people, bringing together and nicely tying in all the experience they have already had in their fields, because there's many people in the country here that have that practical experience, but the MBA is gonna help them to tie it back in, see how that whole thing translates into leadership, and how it translates into pushing the sort of the case and the validity of the shared services centers within their organizations. So for me, that combination of MBA plus the shared service focus, I think it's a winning combination in our industry.
Absolutely, I cannot agree more. What would you say to a future MBA student from a global business services? What would be your recommendation?
Frankly, I think hunker down. It's still a program that you have to go through. It is still school. You still have to do your assignments, but really, for me, it's an investment. Really, it's not only the degree that opens the doors, but it is that knowledge that you can be very confident that you are going to be leveraging on and using on a daily basis in your jobs, and it should be able to propel you further in that leadership of the SSCs that we have here. So yes, hunker down. It's fun. It's 2 years of fun ride. Forget weekends, forget private life, but yes, it's the investment is very worth.
Yeah, Yeah, same here. Invest in your development, invest in your own education. The time is now.